So let's talk about building groups that actually last. I mean, you've done all the hard work to get things started, but there's this critical next step that makes all the difference. It's like the glue that holds everything together. And today, we're going to figure out exactly what it is.
All right, so you've done it. You've gotten through what we call Phase 1, the groundwork. You've brought everyone together, the energy is electric, and it feels like anything is possible. But, what's next?
But here's the thing, and let's be real for a second. We've all seen it happen, haven't we? Why does so many of these groups with all this amazing potential just fizzle out? They hit one little bump in the road and it all falls apart.
Well, the truth is, without a really strong foundation, they're like a house of cards. The slightest little breeze, a small disagreement, a bit of confusion, and the whole thing just comes tumbling down. They're missing that critical glue to hold them together when things get tough.
And that brings us to the solution. It's the second phase in the process, and honestly, it's the one that most groups completely ignore. It's called group formalization. This is where we build that solid foundation.
Okay, so group formalization. What does that even mean? It sounds kind of boring, right? Like a bunch of paperwork, but it's so much more than that. Think of it as creating the group's operating system. It's about putting the tools in place so the group can run itself.
And here's why this is just so crucial. This whole phase is about fairness. It's about protecting everyone, especially the more vulnerable members of the group. We're talking about young people, women, or folks who can't read. It makes sure that every single person has a voice and that their voice is respected.
All right, so how do we actually build this foundation? Well, it all starts with getting everyone on the same page. It starts with writing your team's rulebook.
Now, this usually comes down to two key documents, a constitution and bylaws. The easiest way to think about it is this. The Constitution is your why. It's your big picture vision, your core principles. The bylaws, well, that's your how. That's the nitty-gritty, the day-to-day playbook for how you actually make that vision a reality.
Now, this is absolutely critical, so listen up. These rulebooks can't be handed down from some expert. No way. They have to be built from the ground up, by the members, for the members, and in a language that everybody actually understands. That's how you get real buy-in and true ownership.
Okay, so you have the big rules. But what about all those little things that can drive everyone crazy in a meeting? You know what I'm talking about. People showing up late, someone who won't stop talking, phones going off, all that stuff. That's where learning norms come into play.
And the solutions can be a lot of fun. You can get creative. Maybe latecomers have to pay a tiny fine, or maybe they have to sing a song. The point is, the group decides on the consequences together. It's a great way to hold each other accountable and keep the energy positive.
So, the internal rulebook is done. Everyone's on board. Now it's time for the next big step, making it all official.
This whole process really boils down to 5 steps. We've covered the first 2, developing the Constitution and bylaws, and then setting those learning norms. So now let's dive into the other 3, electing a committee, getting officially registered, and opening a bank account.
Electing leaders, a chairperson, a secretary, a treasurer, this isn't just about giving people fancy titles. It's about creating clarity. It makes sure everyone knows who's responsible for what. That simple step cuts down on so much confusion and really helps build trust.
And wow, these last 2 steps, they are total game changers. Getting officially registered and opening a bank account, that is what unlocks your group's real potential. All of a sudden, you can apply for funding, you can manage your own money, you can start thinking bigger. This is where the real growth starts to happen.
So, after all that, you might be wondering, is all this work really worth it? What's the big payoff? Well, let's talk about what it really means to be built to last. Honestly, the difference is like night and day. A group that skips this phase, it stays fragile. It depends on the facilitator to solve every problem. But a formalized group, it's strong. It's organized, it becomes self-managed, and has the tools to deal with conflict. It is ready to grow.
And that right there is the whole point. This is all about building something that can stand on its own 2 feet. The goal isn't just for the group to survive after the initial help is gone. It's for the group to thrive. And for that to happen, the members have to be the ones building it, every single step of the way.
So that leaves us with a final question to think about. Is your group just something that was formed, or is it something that's truly built to last? That missing glue we talked about? Well, phase 2 is where you find it. Thanks for watching.